Hey, thanks for joining us. This is video 1 of 4 to help guide you to your first Comic-Con. This video will give you the overview of getting your badge. The next video is going to go into a lot more detail on badge sale day, what to expect and how to make that as successful as possible. The only thing you have to do if you want to go to Comic-Con, no exceptions, cannot get around it, you have to create your user ID. If you don't create your user ID, you cannot partake in the badge sales, you cannot get a badge, you cannot go to Comic-Con. You're going to comic-con.org. That's linked in the description of this video as well. Generally about a week before the sale happens, you're going to receive an email, and then if you're following any of the Twitter handles we'll give you in the next video, you're also going to see a lot of tweets about badge sale day. The link that you'll need to actually log in for badge sales will come via email as well, but plan on getting that information about 7 days ahead of time. All of the important communication with Comic-Con is coming via email. Don't opt out of emails. An optional step when you're trying to go to Comic-Con is to create yourself a badge sales group. So my group is about 20 people. I know them all. I'm close friends with a lot of them. And I trust that they will all pay me, and that if they're buying from me, they trust that I'll pay them as well. That's a pretty critical part of your badge sale group. But even if your group is just 3 people, you're tripling the odds you have of getting tickets. For Comic-Con, you can get your own badge plus 2 more. So the more people you have in the waiting room trying to get in, the higher your chances of actually getting a ticket. I recommend that you save $300 for badge sales per person as soon as you're able. Big part of this is that we don't know when badge sales are happening, and I don't want you to lose out because you weren't planning ahead. Also, you're going to get about a week's notice, so even if it is in March, you may be on an off pay week and you don't want to lose out just because you didn't plan ahead. Additionally, if you are going to be buying badges for yourself and anyone else, up to 2 others, then you're going to need one method of payment to cover all of that. In 2019, badges, I think for 4 days plus preview night were about $265, so that's why I'm rounding up to an even $300 just to be prepared. On badge sale day, I personally like to log in at 8 a.m. Pacific. The badge sale starts at 9 a.m. Pacific, or has every year in the past. I personally just like to log in, make sure my internet connection's strong, make sure my power source is connected, make sure that the device that I'm using, goes through all of the checks that it'll give you with plenty of time to fix any issues. You can also do all of that the night before, restart your computer, all of that sort of stuff in preparation, reread the FAQs in the email. So on badge sale day, if you are partaking in a badge sales group, you're gonna need to have every single person's user ID, every single person's full name, and a method of payment that will take all 3 tickets. You cannot split payments. We'll go into this in more detail, but that's an important fact when you're planning ahead. Don't expect to receive that email confirmation for the first few days. I think I usually get mine Monday, Tuesday, sometimes as late as Wednesday. It's a lot of badges that Comic-Con has sold and has to process, so be a little bit patient with that. Once you do receive that confirmation, the person who purchased the badges will receive a confirmation, as well as the person who owns the user ID. You didn't get a badge. Feels really disappointing. Getting a badge is really fun, it's really exciting, and it gives you access to a lot of events and the convention floor. But even if you don't get a badge, there's so much to do in San Diego. All of the Gaslamp district and all of downtown is kind of taken over, including the waterfront. All of the hotels have things going on. So even without a badge, you can explore so much in San Diego related to Comic-Con. Definitely still go if you want to go. So before we wrap up, I just want to remind you of a couple of things. First, none of this is possible if you don't go get your user ID. Pause now, go get your user ID. Nothing else matters. Make sure that you are setting aside badge money. Whatever method of payment you plan to use can cover as many badges as you plan to purchase. Finally, start sucking up to your boss. If you work on Saturdays, you're going to get about a week's notice, so you really need to have a boss who is ready and willing to give you a few hours off on a Saturday morning with very little notice. Thanks again for hanging out with us. I'm the Nerd Cartel. As Captain Mal would say, you can't take the sky from me, but you can like, comment, and share.